because the person who I had the situation with would not take no for an answer and was creating a future in their head with me, and we're not even close. He would text me from different phone numbers.
Okay, so it just made me feel really awkward whenever I went to practices because I feel like I was put in a position where that person was above me, and it was just weird, and I just felt like they had more power, and it just made me feel uncomfortable because of like events that happened with that person.
Yeah, I guess technically yes, but it's not like a real, I don't know. Can I elaborate?
Yeah, of course.
Well, it was more like a being sexualized, like a lot. I just don't want to mess with it.
I just don't want to mess with it.
I just don't want to mess with it.
I just don't want to mess with
it.
My studies have demonstrated the reasoning behind the Title IX occurrences that go unreported on a college campus. Students on the college campus were interviewed in an intimate, anonymous setting where they could dwell into why they chose not to report their Title IX experiences. Themes that were shown were why the issue was ignored, the double-edged sword opinions of making a report, and the repercussions students feel about reporting Title IX. A qualitative research approach was taken, and a total of 5 students fully participated in the study. The students were all female student athletes and ranged in ages 18 to 22 years old. All of the students chose to ignore their Title IX experience and deal with it on their own. They carried and dealt with their own trauma and felt that doing so was better than taking the issues to the Title IX administrator. This was due to the lack of confidence and the stigma of reporting. Many students felt that even though reporting is anonymous, reporting an issue can brand the student and isolate them from student culture. It should be noted that Title IX presentations to students do make a difference in making students aware of instances where they are in Title IX territory, but those presentations do not help students feel comfortable in making a report. If all 5 students in the interview process took at least a year to feel comfortable in the situation, then many students are dealing with unreported trauma on other university campuses. There has been a high rise of sexual assault documentations on college campuses, but this is most likely due to the lack of awareness provided by universities. The cause of this is most likely due to students not knowing how to stop an escalating situation or peers not seeing the signs of a Title IX situation in regard to bystander awareness. Police on university campuses are receiving more reports on sexual assault than the actual Title IX office. Rape myths are very common on college campuses because there is no information provided to discard opinions that have been existing. There are many universities across the nation that do not know how to properly respond when a student decides to express concern over sexual assault. Edwards conducted a research study in which they contacted Title IX personnel over universities across the nation, and over a third of the calls were not answered, even when they were called more than twice. Because of the lack of response that Edwards had, it added to why victims might feel reluctant to report their experience. Another concern in the study was that office staff from the university were confused on who to forward a Title IX call to. Even police officers on campus did not know who was over Title IX. When students experienced sexual assault, it's most likely to cause a drop in their mental health and affect their school performance, and could alter the university's graduation rate. A student is likely to experience thoughts of suicide and social conflict. Many students often cannot identify the difference between what is Title IX situation and what's not. This is why schools need to push the importance of Title IX awareness. According to Graham, there have been studies that have proved that more than half of college women who experienced what was rape did not report because they did not know they were assaulted to that degree. Many students felt that even though reporting is anonymous, reporting an issue can brand a student and isolate them from student culture. Data for the current found from the interviewing college students who have been victims to Title IX and have not made a report to any university officials. The survey that was generated is a face-to-face interview survey that is being conducted only to students who have been referred to by word of mouth, or known as snowball sampling. These students were discovered because they encountered an experience of being a victim to Title IX, but chose not to report these allegations. While some students made a report, it was at least a year before any report was made. Majority of the students who were interviewed are female undergraduate college students at a small West Texas university. The 24-question survey is a mix of a basic demographic survey and a full interview session. Participation is completely voluntary and interviewers are able to step out at any time. The survey consists of questions about the victim's experience on campus, how it affects their social life, and their awareness about Title IX. Did you attend your school's mandatory Title IX training?
Yes.
Did you pay attention to the Title IX presentation?
Yes.
When you attended Title IX training, did any of the points made in the presentation apply to a situation that happened in your college career?
No, but when I experienced my situation, my friend made me realize that there were a lot of red flags that I didn't realize.
Are you an athlete?
Yes.
Have you ever experienced anything with your athletic team staff?
Yes.
Have you ever experienced a Title IX situation?
Yes.
Did you report this?
Yes and no.
Why did you report?
Because the person who I had the situation with would not take no for an answer, and was creating a feature in the head with me, and we're not even close. He would text me from different phone numbers.
Why did you not report?
I was just being nice and didn't think the situation was a big deal.
How did this experience affect your social, work, and athletic life?
I'm super independent. I didn't mind going places by myself, but when they were on campus, I would hope I wouldn't run into them at the library, the cab, or where I worked. It made me super uncomfortable, and I was too nice to ignore them.
Has an individual's reputation on campus scared you from making a report?
No.
Are you scared of hurting the person's reputation?
Yes.
Do you care about Title IX?
Of course.
What's your opinion about it?
I am thankful that it exists because without it, I think there would be lots of sexual assault, disrespect, and trauma in individuals on campus.
Do you know where the Title IX office is located?
Yes.
Have you heard about Title IX reports on campus?
Yes. Lots of situations.
Do you feel the school does a good job of making students feel safe on campus in regard to Title IX?
Yes and no.
Why not?
I think because it is a religious school, it fronts in the image that sex, drugs, and partying culture should not be mentioned to faculty. I think that's why students do not report, because of the stigma about party culture. Also, I noticed lots of sports teams do not trust their coaches enough to make a report. I told my coach and he shot me down because he believed in the benefit of the doubt. It was really discouraging for him not to side with our team.
Do you believe that reporting will make a positive difference?
Sort of. But I think reporting causes a lot of trauma, and people will treat you differently. No matter who you tell, it will get out eventually, and people won't invite you places, or people won't date you. I also seen it happen to a lot of people. Eventually, they become super introverted and end up dropping out and transferring out the semester. It is super sad to hear people say they support victims, but do the opposite when it's someone on their team.
If you've ever had an experience about Title IX, either currently or in the past, would you choose to report and start a case or move on and forget?
In the beginning, I didn't realize that my experience was leading to a big Title IX situation, so I didn't report. It wasn't until my friend was with me and I had an encounter with my person. They noticed a lot of the red flags that I didn't see and encouraged me to report. If it was not for the situation, my friend being with me, I would never have reported it and continue to be nice to the person even though I did not want anything to do with them.
Did you pay attention to the Title IX presentation?
Yes, but less as I got older because it was like the same thing.
When you attended Title IX training, did any of the points made in the presentation apply to the situation that happened in your college career?
I think like not during the presentation right away, but I did learn like, I don't know, but something did happen to me, and I think I did not originally think that happened to me was Title IX, but it did happen twice.
Are you an athlete?
Yes.
Have you ever experienced anything with your athletic team staff?
In a way, it was more like a direct thing that happened that year, but like it was an awkward situation and something happened a previous year too, if that makes sense.
Have you ever experienced a Title IX situation?
Yes.
Did you report this?
At first I didn't, but yes, and someone else reported, so it helped me.
Why did you not report at first?
Personally, I did not report it because, I don't know, I guess I was okay with dealing with it. I didn't realize that other people were not okay with it, so I guess I just didn't think about standing up for other people around me. I was just used to dealing with it myself.
How did this experience affect your social, work, and athletic life?
Okay, so it just made me feel really awkward whenever I went to practices because I feel like I was put in a position where that person was above me, and it was just weird, and I just felt like they had more power, and it just made me feel uncomfortable because of like events that happened with that person.
How did it affect you in your social life when this happened?
It didn't really affect me because I didn't see it as a red flag until that person was on my team, and I had to see them and interact with them after avoiding them for so long.
Has an individual's reputation on campus scared you from making a report?
No, because I don't care about that person's reputation.
Are you scared of hurting a person's reputation?
No.
Do you care about Title IX?
Yes, I think it's important.
What's your opinion about it?
Well, I think it's important and it should be continued to be taught and enforced throughout schools. Like, I think our school has done a good job of taking care of it. Like, I know other schools really don't, but I feel that they should do a better job of taking action of sexual assault seriously.
Do you know where the Title IX office is located?
Yes.
Do you feel the school does a good job of making students feel safe on campus in regard to Title IX?
Yeah, I think our school does a good job because we have a good director for it, but not so much with other schools.
Why?
I guess mainly because when we went through the Title IX process, it was dismissed by a lot of people who should have taken it more seriously.
Do you believe reporting will make a positive difference?
Yes and no. I think everyone deserves, like, not revenge, but, like, I guess deserves to have their story told, kind of like exposing the person who did that to them, but at the same time bringing that to life can really be hard for someone. And like, it just brings a bunch of negativity because not everyone is going to believe them. But I can see why people keep quiet about it, but I wish that everyone would report it and it could be seen as a positive thing.
If you have had a Title IX experience, either currently or in the past, would you choose to report and start a case or move on and forget?
Reporting the case is the right thing to do if it happened again or with the same person like I experienced with my situation.
Did you attend the school's mandatory Title IX training?
Yes.
Did you pay attention to the Title IX presentation?
Yeah.
When you attended Title IX training, did any of the points made in the presentation apply to the situation that happened in your college career?
Well, yeah, I am aware.
Are you an athlete?
Yes.
Have you experienced anything with your athletic team staff?
Yeah, I guess technically yes. But it's not like a real, I don't know. Can I elaborate?
Yeah, of course.
Well, it was more like a being sexualized, like a lot, with previous staff. Not right now, but maybe my sophomore year. Like there was well, the guy got fired because he was talking to an individual. And I know he's talking to several people on my team too.
Still?
He was, before he got fired. But like, you know what I mean? When I was recovering, it was just him and I. He would stand close to where I would stretch. I did not feel comfortable. You know what I mean? So I would always move and he would just move towards as well. The whole time I was recovering was terrible. But yeah, I guess I don't know. Is that considered Title IX if I was extremely uncomfortable right now?
Yeah, it is.
Is it really?
So just feeling uncomfortable is already a start to something, and this can already start a conversation with our school's Title IX director, but just remember he's not affiliated with this research project. Have you ever experienced a Title IX situation?
Yes. What I explained.
Did you report this?
No.
Why didn't you report it?
Well, at least with this situation, I thought it was more like, oh, it's just me. And I did not know if it was all in my head. You know what I mean? And if I were to say something, it's just a he say, she say. And then he's obviously a staff member, so he already has one above me. You know what I mean? And I'm obviously a student athlete. You know what I mean? I am one step lower, so who are they going to believe? You know? So, well, yeah.
How did this experience affect your social, work, and athletic life?
Well, yeah, it affected several things. It definitely changed the way I perceive college as, and like how people are. You know what I mean? It's just everything your parents always tell you. But I never thought it would happen to me. Especially like who I am and who I'm interested in, if you know what I mean. I don't think anything would ever happen to me. I thought it was well known who I am within my social circles. Kind of thing student-wise, you know, and athlete-wise. But it still happened. And it even happened with people on several teams, with students and people hired. But, I mean, yeah, it changed a lot.
Has an individual's reputation on campus scared you from making a report?
Low-key, yeah.
Are you scared of hurting the person's reputation?
No.
Do you care about Title IX?
Yeah, of course I do.
What's your opinion about Title IX?
My opinion in general?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's a good thing. You know what I mean? There's definitely like the way that I handle my situation. And I probably technically like, yes, I should have reported it. Like it was just time-wise and like where I was. Who I was like, it was just, I knew better not to. It is really sad to say that because I just knew the backlash. But it did not matter what the individual did. I would not just be known for that. And of course, if it does not come up the way I wanted it to, it's going to be like, oh, you lied, you did this, that, you're not invited to come over here. Oh, well, we can't talk to you because of this. Oh, I can't like you because of this, because I don't want to be Title IX, blah, blah, blah. Things like that, I've seen it. I think it's a good thing, though, just because when situations do hit the fan, I think there should be something like that in order to protect boys and girls and everyone in between.
Do you know where the Title IX office is located?
Yeah.
Have you heard about Title IX cases on campus?
Yes.
Have you heard about details of cases?
Several. Yes.
Do you feel the school does a good job of making students feel safe on campus in regard to Title IX?
I think that yes, they do, but I think it needs to be repeated more than once. In the beginning of the semester, because we have people coming in and in the middle and the end, you know what I mean? It should at least be repeated and known all the time, not just once, and just required, because there was a time when there was only like, oh, only all athletes have to go. Where it's like, okay, if you are not an athlete, how are you supposed to know about that? People who are not in that, like, you know what I mean? I just feel like it should be more repeated and more talked about. I've heard and seen some cases that have not been reported, just like situations where some of the girls were like, he's literally threatening me with a video, and I was drunk. I never consented to this, and he said he would send it to all his friends. So yeah, I don't know. I just think it should be repeated more, I guess.
Do you believe reporting will make a positive difference?
Well, I would like to say yes, but in reality, if the school does not do their job properly, like I said, it is going to backlash. Everyone on the team, everyone in school, everyone is going to be known. You're going to be known as the one who lied. You know what I mean? Everyone always believes whoever, depending on who did it.
If you have ever had an experience of a Title IX situation, either currently or in the past, would you choose to report and start a case or move on and forget?
Cause you know about that one that happened recently. Actually, I already had 2 that have happened this semester alone. Like, I just don't know. I just know that I'm not the one at fault. I just feel like I really don't know.
You feel like wishy-washy?
Yeah, I do feel wishy-washy, a little bit wishy-washy. I know with one of them, like, people can learn to not be so ignorant. So this is like your chance. I can't be the one to take away someone's chance as an education or sport because of something that they obviously did. Just mean like conscience. I just could not do it. Then with the other situation, if it was just more of like me personally, I can handle it. I can handle not reporting it. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. I'm okay with doing that with myself. I don't need to report to whoever or whatever because I got my revenge one way or another. I'll just deal with my own battle. I don't need the school to step in because of what happened to me. Because what happened to me was not as bad as what I've heard happened to other people. Those people should report and fight in some way, but I feel like reporting won't help them. They'll just be known as the one who lied.
Since student athletes are more likely to endure sexual assault, Kelly revealed that student athletes will be likely to commit 1 in 3 sexual assaults on a college campus. More than 16% of college athletic women are sexually assaulted in college. Title IX has been prevalent in the media because of big cases such as Brock Turner. Brock Turner's case became famous because he was a Division I athlete who had committed rape and his sentence was no more than a slap on the wrist. There are many cases similar to Turner's, but movements like the Me Too movement have opened the public eyes to Title IX cases that were not reported. According to Azimi, the norm for college campuses is for students to engage in activities that involve drug and alcohol use. More specifically, athletes are more likely to engage in this culture on a college campus. These substances cause a likelihood for sexual violence situations to occur. Statistics provided by Azimi show that the majority of sexual assaults for college students happen because alcohol is involved. Many students feel pressured to engage in social activities that involve drug and alcohol abuse. Research has proven that the places where Title IX cases occur the most are parties on college campuses that are hosted by athletic teams and fraternities. Catalina Kelly shows that there are many cases that are reported about sexual assault between college athletes, but some schools have extended the investigations till the athlete's session or eligibility has run out. Only then will the school proceed with expulsion or suspension. Occurrences like this are the reason many victims feel like there is no court in reporting because the schools are focused more on protecting the face and brand over the safety of their own students. Since Title IX spiked in recent years, even though it has done more good, it has changed the game for female coaches. There has been a decrease in female coaching staff at the higher level because of the exposure of athletes and sexual abuse to staff members. Schools have even chosen to disband men's athletic teams in order to favor women's athletics teams. But even though this is not enough to keep women on staff, they endure high exposure to sexual abuse and mistreatment just as much as college athletes. Gender discrimination. Additionally, Title IX is not just about women. There are some cases where a male is a victim, as well as our LGBTQ+ community. A question to consider is how many men that have been accused of committing a Title IX violation have been innocent. Bunster refers to the role of gender discrimination because male cases are treated and investigated differently than a women's case. There are many rules set in stone because of the pointing of fingers between parties in an investigation. One of the most common themes that was present in this research was lack of confidence in reporting. Students seemed to blow off reporting to the Title IX office because they did not see their instances are worthy of reporting. The common stigma that was revealed showed that students feel as though if they report, university officials might take the side of a faculty member rather than the victim. The students that eventually chose to report only did so after time had passed and also because they had encouragement from friends and peers. The lack of confidence that interviewees had for themselves to report shows why so many Title IX allegations go unreported on college campuses. In this research study, all of the participants identified the student athletes and mentioned that they all experienced a Title IX violation with athletic staff members. Findings of this study were that lack of confidence and the stigma of reporting are walls that are standing in the way of the student's decision to report their Title IX incident. The discussions that were talked through in the interview process shows that while Title IX is doing good for students that do make a report, there are still many victims that are enduring trauma due to their lack of reporting. Many students feel as if their incidents are not worth reporting. Dealing with their trauma and not having the school involved is deemed to be a better choice in the perspective of the student. These factors emphasize just how much the stigma of reporting is affecting students. While only 5 students were interviewed, there were many common answers between all of them. The significance of Title IX presentations in the beginning of the semester truly generate a difference in creating awareness for students. During the interview session, students who attended the university in 2018 were able to quote the presentation made by the Title IX director. His key words on his room number and emphasis on the words yes and no have stuck in the minds of students. In the year 2018, the Title IX director had the privilege to make a Title IX presentation that was in a small, intimate setting of each sport team, rather than a giant auditorium filled with students. In comparison to the freshman student that was interviewed, her first Title IX presentation did not have so much effect. Most students just did not feel the same connection to the presentation and were distracted by peers, sleepiness, or their phones. This is why it's important for schools to take their time to hire or appoint their Title IX staff to do as much as they can to create awareness for Title IX. If the school is able to have a presentation for students and faculty at the beginning of each semester creating awareness, they could very much raise reports being made and prevent allegations from happening. Equally important information that was discovered in this data was that the school culture had shockingly high impact on why students do not report allegations. Reasoning behind this theme might be that the school has a low amount of students, the number being at 1,100 enrolled in its main campus. In reference to the interviews that were conducted, many students claim that reporting an issue causes a social bridge to be broken. Students will become isolated from social group outings, and reporting most likely causes an impact on the dating life of an individual. The best way to describe the situation is like the classic American novel, The Scarlet Letter. The Scarlet Letter is an American novel written by Nathaniel Hawthorne. It is about a woman who endures shame and social stigmatism because she conceived a child through a romantic affair. She is branded and wears the letter A on her chest, so people know her as an adulterer. In comparison to students who report Title IX occurrences, social circles in the university brand them. an invisible brand that is created by students who spread rumors and stretch the truth, all while isolating them from social culture. This then causes decline in mental health, drop in grades, low athletic performance, and most students will drop out at semester's end. On a more positive note, creating awareness by the Title IX director has helped other students notice when the Title IX situation is being born or escalating. All interviewees claim that having support from their peers would either help them make a report or push them to make the report. Support from peers supports uniting victims in a sense that they know that they have people backing them through hardships that they will endure once an investigation begins. Through examination from each interview, it was very beneficial of the emphasis on confidentiality, because once interviewees felt they had comfort in a relaxing setting that was created in an interview, they encouraged their peers to agree to the interview. While people declined an interview, other students made comments and laughed about situations they encountered, which further proves the point that students are ignoring issues on college campuses. An issue that needs to be further researched is that students may not notice when they are experiencing a violation. In the interview process, the students that did eventually make a report had waited at least a year before they were encouraged to make a report. Students either blew off the instance, were too kind, or were not suspicious of the activity. This is why it is important for the school's Title IX director to emphasize awareness and social culture in university student life. While the present information gave a great deal of insight to why cases go unreported for Title IX on university campuses, the sample size was too small to show if other students are experiencing the same themes that were discussed in the results. Also, it is hard to tell if some students are telling the truth about their allegations. While we should support and believe the victim, there should always be an investigation to view the perspectives of both parties. Coupled with these situations is the concern for changing the culture of social circles on campus. Students will continue to create rumors for the victims whose case escapes anonymity. Culture like this is likely to always remain the same. While it was difficult to gather more interviews due to fear of speaking out by victims and snowball sampling, this research will continually be pursued because it can help the Title IX administrators better understand the students' perspective on university campuses across the United States.